only appearance of the season so far. He's been around the club for a very long time, Safe Zabe. Was considered a bit of a phenomenon when he was a teenager. Was handed a 3-year contract at the age of 16, but hasn't really cracked it so far. But a good chance here today. Could only make 16 on last Wednesday at Old Trafford. Didn't play here on Friday against Worcestershire because Northants went in with the extra seamer. But a chance now here with over half the innings to go. We're in the 20, or about to start the 25th over. That was the last ball of the 24th, I beg your pardon. So 104 for 3. Northants still have Cobb there on 46. Zabe with him now. And Cobb, the right-hander, facing Yazir Shah from the wanted throw then. He goes back and pushes a gently turning delivery. Back to the bowler's left hand, there's no run. Short third man, backward point. Deep cover, extra cover. Then long on, long off. Short mid-wicket. And they're toing and froing with the deep square now, away to our right-hand side. Eventually they're leaving back towards the big screen. Short fine leg completes the field as Cobb goes back and pushes to the bowler's right hand, and Yazir in his follow-through goes across to collect down by his right-hand side, and there's no run. Cobb with a long-sleeve shirt, settles over his bat. Yazir is in, and Cobb goes high up over mid-wicket. This is looping up towards the outfield. Fielder coming around, doesn't get there, and they're going to come back for a second run. Cobb trying to slog sweep the leg spinner. It went higher rather than longer and looped away for a couple of runs in the end before Ali from the mid-wicket fence could get across. 106 for 3. Cobb goes to 48. Yazir bowls once more, skids one through, and Cobb in front of the off stump drops the bat down to this and just about steers it away to backward point and survives yet again. It was a miscued slog swoop there from Cobb, who might have been run out much earlier in the day as well. Yazir goes into him once more, and he's very forward to this and plays down towards long off, away to our left-hand side, where Fakar Zaman runs away a few yards to do the fielding. Cobb goes to 49 now, 107 for 3 in the 25th over, and Safe Zabe will face his first delivery here. Last season Zabe played the last 2 of the one-day cup matches, could only make 10 and 2. Slip in here as he faces Yazir Shah, and there's a catch behind the wicket. Appeal for an LBW shout as well there, but altogether not outgiven by umpire Rob White at this wanted road end. So 25 overs gone, and Northants 107 for 3. Nikesh.
Yeah, Josh Cobb 49. Safe Zabe yet to get off the mark, and as you say, a bit of an appeal there initially, I think, for an LBW, and then Sarfraz Ahmed interested in the catch down the leg side behind the wicket. Both appeals turned down by the umpires. It's been a watchful innings from Josh Cobb. 72 balls he's faced so far for his 49. But here he is on strike to Haris Sohail and cuts this one out to the sweeper on the offside, and that is his 50. Round of applause here from the crowd at Northants
50 for Josh Cobb
as he raises his bat towards the pavilion, towards his teammates. Very watchful innings, but he's really gluing this innings together as far as Northants are concerned. Came in when Richard Levy was dismissed off the very first ball of the match. Safe Zabe back on strike now. Just defends this one from Haris Sohail, straight back to the bowler, no run. Harris in once again to Zabe, this one full and driven, straight to the extra cover fielder. No run once again. His left arm spinners in the Pakistan side spent a bit of time with Monty Panesar down at Kent, who was bowling to them in the nets. As Haris Sohail comes into Zabe again, he just works this one towards mid-on, but well fielded, no run. I wonder if Monty passed on any tips to the likes of Haris Sohail and Imad Wasim. Harris comes in again to Zabe, who just defends this towards mid-wicket. No run again. And Monty Panesar, looking to get back into the first-class game, of course, was invited down by Kent to bowl at the Pakistanis in the nets. This time Zabe down the wicket, but just pushes this one straight to extra cover. Another dot ball to finish off the 26th over. Northants now 108 for 3.
Josh Cobb's 50 came in 73 balls with 4 fours and 1 6.
So as you may have heard there, 73 balls for Josh Cobb's 50, 4 boundaries and a 6. Very watchful innings.
They heard, don't worry. It's a mighty PA system here at Wantage Road. Struggle to compete with it, and there is a speaker to our right hand side as well, which doesn't help, and the roof of this Ken Turner stand, the sound reverberates around inside it.
Yasir Shah to continue Cobb on strike. Just pushes this one into the covers. No run. Sweeper at deep cover, long off, long on, deep mid wicket as well. Shah into Cobb again. This one shorter and punched off the back foot through the cover region, out to the sweeper for a single. Mohammed Hasnain with his woolly hat still on. So slip in place for Saif Zabe as Yasir Shah comes in. This one full and driven uppishly down towards long on for a single.
Yeah, big cry of catch there. Just wonder it was straight off the bat in the air.
It initially looked like a bump ball.
Yeah.
But they were interested, the Pakistanis. So Zabe off the mark with that single. Cobb back on strike. Here comes Shah. Full and just driven down towards long on for another single. Mohammed Amir back on the field. Put his feet up for a brief time after his spell of bowling earlier on. So Shah into Zabe this time, who drives straight back to him, and a good catch down to his left. Diving away there, Yasir Shah. And he's got his man. That was punched powerfully back to him, down towards long on, but Yasir Shah diving down towards his left, plucks it out of the air, and that is a 4th wicket for the Pakistanis. Saif Zabe gone for 1, and Northants 111 for 4 now in the 27th over.
Cracking catch, really smart take from Yasir Shah, because it didn't really get that high off the ground. That little punch from Zabe back to the bowler's left hand, threw himself quickly down to his left. It was a very, very smart take. And Zabe, another chance comes and goes for him. And you just wonder how long he might have left here at Northampton. He's been around the club for a long, long time now. Constantly told he's got plenty of potential and still a developing cricketer, but has had his chances, and yet to really make a big score to make you stand up and think, I think we can work with this fella for the next few years. I'll be around for the rest of the summer, but failing again here today. So in effect 5 down now, Northampton, just after the halfway mark, and just beginning to list a bit this innings, isn't it?
Absolutely. Josh Cobb still there and beaten on 52, trying his best to hold things together. The Pakistanis certainly back in this one. Yasir Shah with a first wicket today. 1 ball remaining in his 6th over. He's bowled them consecutively today. Haris Sahel from the other end as well has picked up a wicket, as have Mohammed Amir and Mohammed Hasnain. As Ian Holland takes strike. Comes out to join Josh Cobb. Slip in place as well for Holland. As Yasir Shah comes in. This one's full outside the off stump, defended into the covers, no run. dot ball to finish off the 27th over then. Northants 111 for 4. Effectively 5 with Vasconcelos having retired hurt after being struck by Mohamed Hasnain.
A very sleepy day in Northampton. Little intensity about this fixture so far, really. In stark contrast to the tour match here last year, that was a proper first-class game between Pakistan and Northants, and both teams had very strong 11s out. Shortly before the Pakistanis went to play Ireland in the inaugural Test match before the series against England, it was a really good fixture.
Harris Sahel to continue. Josh Cobb, who just hits this one straight to mid-on, no run. Interesting you say 11 aside. Quite rare we see that from touring sides nowadays. Normally have 13 or 14. Sahel this time shorter to Cobb, who slaps this straight to extra cover, no run. That's probably part of the reason why Pakistan have been pretty successful in the last couple of tours of England. Have competed in the Test matches. This one down the leg side. It's going to be signalled wide. Another extra onto the total. Harris into Cobb once again, onto the pads, and slight thought of an appeal for an LBW. I think he may have got an inside edge onto that one though, Josh Cobb. Harris this time outside the off stump and defended straight back to him by Cobb. This one shorter and just punched through the covers by Cobb, out to the sweeper on the offside. They jog through for a single to bring Hock on to strike. To the 28th over, Northants 113 for 4. Harris Sahel into Holland this time, who drives this off the back foot down towards long on for a single. And that is the end of the 28th over. Northants 114 for 4. Holland off the mark with that single. Cobb at the other end on 53. If you're just joining us, good afternoon. This is me, Nikesh Shrigani, alongside Alex Winter, for commentary on Pakistan's second tour match on their tour of England. 50 over contest here against Northants. Pakistan, of course, winning their first tour match against Kent at the weekend. Commentary here on 5 Live Sports Extra and on the BBC Sport website as Yasir Shah continues to Holland, who just punches this one off the back foot straight back to him. Shah into Holland once again. This one punched back down the ground towards long on. They jog through for a single. Mohamed Amir, the fielder down there. In fact, Imad Wazim, Mohamed Amir is at long off as Shah comes in to Cobb this time, short and outside the off stump and guided beautifully down towards the third man boundary for 4 runs. Very well played there by Josh Cobb, just rocking onto the back foot, slightly shorter from Yasir Shah and just outside the off stump. And Cobb picking out the gap beautifully. Another boundary for Josh Cobb, who moves on to 57.
I think you were a little generous there, Nikesh. It was looked like a bit of a thickish outside edge. He was trying to steer it away, but it flashed away. Fine a short third man. Oohs and ahs from the bowler.
Again guided down towards third man, but straight to the fielder inside the circle, and Cobb sent back by Holland. Looking for a single there. Shire into Cobb again, this time down the leg side, signalled wide. Just straying with his line there, Yasir Shah, looking for a little bit of extra turn. Hasn't been much for the spinners this afternoon. Shah in once again, this time off stump line and just pushed into the covers for a single. So Cobb on to 58. Josh Cobb captain for the day here for Northants. Holland at the other end on 2, and Holland is on strike. Slip comes into place. So Yasir Shah comes in, and this one full and driven by Holland down towards Mohammed Amir, this time at long off for a single. And that is the end of the 29th over. Northants now 122 for 4. And having taken over an hour and 20 minutes for the first 15 overs, the next 14 have taken around 45 minutes.
Just good to see. Skipping through them towards lunch here. And lunch already being served in the curry bar down to our right hand side. Some white smoke is emerging from the marquee around to our right hand side.
I think there's a barbecue on there, isn't there? You can see some kebabs on skewers down there.
Good cue down there as well. FM now for BBC Wedding Northampton listeners, so bear with. 122 for 4 here at Northamptonshire in the 30th over. Josh Cobb leading their progress on 58 not out, and Ian Holland has just come to join Cobb in the middle on 3. But Cobb has had little support really from the other end, because Richard Levy fell first ball of the innings. Ben Cohen made 23 before he, like Levy, dragged the ball into his own stumps. Ricardo Vasconcelos got a nasty blow on the helmet from Mohammed Hasnain, struck him on the side of the lid, had extended treatment, did bat on for a couple of deliveries before going off the ground. Now he has been checked over and is okay, but as a precaution ahead of the one-day cup game here against Yorkshire on Wednesday. But some concern for Vasconcelos, having been struck on the helmet. Can never be too sure with concussion protocols as they are nowadays, but for the moment Vasconcelos told. Save also falling for 1, caught and bowled by the leg spinner Yasir Shah, and Charlie Thurston, who played nicely for his 25, got his angles wrong really and chipped a catch back up to another spinner Sohail and was caught for 25. So Cobb leading Northants' progress here as the sun peaks out here at Wantage Road. He's on 58. 2-2 for 4 in the 30th over.
This one driven uppishly by Ian Holland through the backward point region. He's going to get a boundary for it. It's a thick outside edge there as he was looking to drive that one from Junaid Khan through the offside. Just wide of the backward point fielder. Some keen Pakistan fans out on the third man boundary, just getting some autographs from Imad Wasim. He's fielding out there. Good to see some support for the touring side as well, as Junaid comes in over the wicket once again to Holland, who drives this time straight to extra cover, no run. The sun has just disappeared for a while here in Northampton. Thick cloud up above. A few little gaps of blue sky over to our right. Junaid comes in once again to Holland, and this time flicked down towards fine leg. Mohammed Amir, the fielder, down there. Just another single there to Holland. Moves on to 8. Northants 127 for 4 in the 30th over. Josh Cobb back on strike. He's played very well for his 58. Northants captain today. Junaid into Cobb this time, who just defends this Into the offside, no run. And we did see Junaid getting just a little bit of movement with the new ball early on when he opened the bowling. Nothing now with the older white ball. Tends to stop moving around after 5 or 6 overs or so. Still good pace here from Junaid Khan. And the sun's back out as Junaid comes in to Cobb once again, this time short, very short in fact, and signalled wide as Josh Cobb just sways out of the way of that. Good pace again from Junaid, but just digging it in a little bit too short and over head height in the end.
Went way over Cobb's head. It was the nonchalant take from Sarfraz that I enjoyed. Just casually watched it and then sent up a right arm above his shoulder and took it out of the sky as if he was plucking an apple from a tree.
So Junaid in once again to Cobb. This one shorter and down the leg side and flicked around the corner towards fine leg for another single. And that's the end of the 30th over. Northants 129 for 4. Cobb moves on to 59. Ian Holland at the other end on 8.
So Tom Sole, and then just the bowlers to come here for Northants, Buck Hutton and the returning Mohammed Azarullah. How wonderful to see him back. He's a great character, really nice fella, and I'm sure plenty here at Wantage Road will be pleased to see him back in Northants colours here today. But they'll be hoping that they won't have to see him bat, because he's not too much cop with bat in hand. Although I did see his finest hour, made a half-century down at Canterbury a few years ago now. Mohammed Amir is back from the Wantage Road end. 129 for 4 after 30. Bowls left arm over to Cobb, who from the crease just pokes this backward of point and sets off for a sharp single, and they get home comfortably. So Cobb goes to 60, and Northants 130 for 4 here at the start of the 31st over. Amir's first burst from this Wantage Road end, 4 overs, 1 made and 1 for 17. Had Richard Levy dragging into his own stumps to the first ball of the innings. And now back for another burst. Just a case of Sarfraz getting overs into the legs of all his bowlers here today. Wantage Road now bathed in glorious sunshine as Amir goes in and Holland defends from the crease out to extra cover. And there is no run. A very interesting tale about Ian Holland. He was born in Wisconsin and then raised in Australia. And the way his cricket career got going, he won a reality programme in Victoria where I think it was Darren Lehman was one of the judges.
Wow. And
if you won the competition, you got yourself a short-term contract with Victoria. So that's how his first-class career started. And then his father's British, so he has a British passport. As Amir goes in, this is forced away by Holland out to Amal Hack at backward point, and there's no run. So with his British passport, came over to try and make the grade in England, was playing some club cricket here as well before picked up by Hampshire. Hasn't played too much one-day cricket. His debut for Northants here on Friday was just his 3rd list day match. He's only played 1 T20 as well. Getting more chance against the white ball here for Northants. He'll be around for the remaining 3 one-day cup matches. Slip now goes in. Amir goes in again. This is chopped away past backward point by Ian Holland, and they'll get just a single as the ball runs away into the deep, away to our left hand side. Fielder running away from the cover boundary.
Quick question then, is he, I mean you may not know this, but is he the first class cricketer to be born in Wisconsin? Does anybody know? Let us know on Twitter if you do. Can't have been too many.
I know that Benny Howell, who plays for Gloucestershire, he was born in Bordeaux. So a rare French-born first-class cricketer. 3-1 for 4. Cobb back on strike, and he drives at Amir and gets a thick inside edge that runs away through square leg. out towards the big screen to our right hand side, and Cobb goes to 61 now. 132 for 4, Northampton, the 31st over. Doesn't say where in Wisconsin he was born, just in the state of Wisconsin, somewhere north of Chicago. What else is in Wisconsin? Milwaukee, is that Wisconsin up that way?
You may be right.
Green Bay, is that Wisconsin? The Green Bay Packers, they play in Wisconsin. Mohamed Amir is in to Holland, and Holland defends from the crease out towards mid-off, where running to his right hand side is a substitute fieldersman down there, collects in a bobble hat as the over comes to an end. 31 gone here, Northampton 1-3-2 for 4, and the substitute fielder Hassan Ali doing the work there, coming to his right hand side. So despite some warming sunshine, still a bit chilly for some of these Pakistanis who are used to spending their time in the Middle East now, where they play a lot of their cricket. 1-3-2 for 4, Northampton after 31 overs.
And the Pakistanis used to playing in front of very few spectators as well in the Middle East, just like we have here today. In fact, there might be more in here at Northampton than,
there would
than
be
some of
Abu
their
Dhabi,
test matches in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Unless, of course, it is on a Friday there, when they do tend to get better crowds.
So Junaid from the far end bowls to Cobb, who from the crease angles this towards Imam al-Haq at backward point, and there's no run. 1-3-2 for 4. Yeah, that's great. Certainly the stadium in Dubai, massive bowl, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fine arena, but
and they tend to
no
get better crowds for the limited overs stuff. Test matches don't tend to be as popular, and it tends to be Pakistani expats living in the Middle East who go and watch them rather than the locals. Although whenever England tour there, the Barmy Army do take good numbers.
Junaid again from the far end, left arm over, and Cobb from the crease, this time runs it down to third man. Away to our right hand side, Hassan Ali, the substitute, is running away from the curry bar down there. It's going to get a nice waft of curry in his nostrils down there, away to our right. 1-3-3 for 4, and Hassan Ali goes across to pose for a selfie down there as well, with a couple of Pakistani supporters here for the day. Cobb has 62 now, playing a captain's knock for his side, holding this innings together. Very slow progress for Northamptonshire after winning the toss. As Junaid comes in again, and Holland drags into his stumps. Off stump out of the ground, and a third Northampton batsman has got an inside edge into his own stumps, and Holland is gone for 9. And Northampton lose a 6th wicket, 1-3-3 for 6.
Yep, another one, as you say. Junaid Khan this time, the bowler. Just that a bit of extra pace, as Holland was trying to punch that one through the offside. A little bit of extra pace, perhaps a little bit of an inducker as well, seaming in off the pitch slightly, and Holland making his way back for 9. So Josh Cobb running out of partners fast.
He is, yeah. Here comes Tom Sole at number 8 for Northampton rather, because technically 5 down, but in effect 6 because of Ricardo Vasconcelos retiring hurt. And as I said to Radio Northampton listeners in the update just after 1, Ricardo Vasconcelos is doing okay. He's passed the concussion examination, but certainly unlikely to bat again, we're told, as a precaution ahead of the one-day game on Wednesday. So for the moment he is okay, which is good news, because it was quite a painful blow he took from Mohamed Hasnain earlier in the piece. But having made only 1, Northampton effectively losing one of their batsmen very cheaply that they needed to make a score here today. They've lost Levy for a golden duck, Curran for 23, Thurston for 25, Zabe for 1, Holland for 9, and in effect Vasconcelos for 1 as well. So certainly a danger here that Northampton aren't going to bat out the 50, because they're 1-3-3 effectively for 6 in the 32nd over. And out comes Tom Sole for the first time for the Northampton first team in 2019. Scotland international, playing for Scotland A earlier this year. Junaid runs in from the far end, and Sol is back and across, playing up towards the bowler's left hand, and there is no run. For those who don't know, Tom's father, David Sol, was the Scotland rugby captain. Led them to a famous victory over England in 1990. Denied England the Grand Slam at Murrayfield. Match that has gone down in folklore already. It was the subject of an excellent book called The Grudge. Sol Jr. here waits for Junaid, bat in hand, and plays and misses just outside the off stump. One just goes across the right hander, and Sol feeling for it. Played and missed. Nicely delivered. Played 3 times this season for, certainly in the last, twice this season for Northampton's second 11. 39 on his last outing against Warwickshire over at Desborough. Also played at Trent Bridge against Notts seconds at the start of April. But this is first team appearance in 2019. Slip goes in, Junaid goes in, and Sol drives, and fielded out at extra cover, and the over comes to an end. So 32 gone now. 1-3-3 for 5 Northamptonshire. Cobb still there on 62, but now Tom Sol out at number 8, yet to score. And the big screen away to our right hand side appears to have given up the ghost over there.
Yeah, someone's forgotten to put their 50p coin in the meter, haven't they?
Well, there was a wonderful, I say wonderful, it was comical situation that used to happen here, that if you turned one of the kettles on in the press box, the scoreboard went off. It was bizarre. They were linked to the same power source somehow. So 1-3-3 for 5, and Mohammed Amir going in to Cobb, who clips it away down towards third man. This is going quickly on, runs for 4. They're not renowned for their fielding, this Pakistani side, and that wasn't the sharpest piece of work out on the far side of the ground. Tumbling away to his right hand side, fieldsman down there in the deep, and Cobb picks up a boundary. Goes to 66, 1-3-7 for 5 at the start of the 33rd over.
Haven't they, in the field, the Pakistanis today, apart from Yasir Shah with that caught and bowled. It's interesting that off their own bowling, some of these Pakistanis are well in the outfield, very leisurely today.
There's a full length dive to his right hand side, and should have been saved really, but Cobb will take it. Got 66 now, and he diverts the next from Amir down to third man, down towards the car park adjacent to the Wilson stand down there, and they get a single more, so Cobb goes to 67, 1-3-8 for 5, giving the score tentatively here because the board away to our left hand side is just about flicking over okay, but the scoreboard away to our right, the big screen, is now completely blank. Only installed a couple of weeks ago over there. Amir goes in, and Sol forwards here and takes a run down to third man, and this time the fielding is good in the distance. Deters the second run, and Sol goes to... No, Sol should get off the mark there. 1-3-9 for 5. This time the scoreboard has flicked over very promptly away to our left. 1-3-9 for 5 is indeed the total. We're definitely in the 33rd over because the bowling began at this Wantage Road end. Over's yet to tick along on the scoreboard adjacent to the signal box away to our left. Amir is into Cobb. Right-hander, slower ball, and Cobb forward, feeling for it. A little bit squared up, pushes in the air for a while, but safely back up past the bowler to mid-on. And there is no run. Mohammed Amir here in the touring party for the squad against England for the series to come, but not in the initial World Cup 15. Goes in left arm over, and Cobb, not for the first time, steers the ball down to third man. Amir howls as the ball runs down towards the Wilson stand for a single more. He could do with a gullion, I think, just to deter Cobb from playing through that region with quite comfort, it must be said so far. He's got 68 now, Cobb, 140 for 5 Northounds. But of the team here, or of the players that have appeared in the last couple of matches at Beckenham on Saturday and here today, there are 3 not in the World Cup 15, as Amir bowls a bumper to Tom Sol, who bends his knees, drops the hands and allows it to pass to Sarfraz behind the stumps. End of the over, 33 gone, and Northampton are 140 for 5, in effect 6, with Vasconcelos very unlikely to bat again. Cobb still there on 68. Yazir Shah, Asif Ali and Mohammed Amir, the 3 who have played either on Saturday at Beckenham or here against Northampton that aren't in the World Cup 15. Shoaib Malik played on Saturday, isn't playing here, isn't in the 16 names put down here today, not one of the reserve fieldsmen, but he is in the World Cup 15. England have also named their preliminary squad and a 17 to play against Pakistan. Meeting up in a camp in Cardiff as we speak, as Junaid bowls from the far end and Cobb opens the blade on this down to Imam Ul-Haq away to our right hand side at third man. He runs in front of the curry bar, collects and then sends in a terrible throw to Sarfraz. You can't make an old man run that far.
And talking of England's squads, of course the news this morning that Alex Hales has been removed from all of the England squads for the game against Ireland, the games against Pakistan and the World Cup squad after the off-the-field issues which he's been having. So there is a place up for grabs in the England squads.
Junaid once more from the far end. Sun pokes through again and Sol just pokes this out towards point. Babar Azam there, away to our right hand side, and there is no run. Yeah, story emerged that Alex Hales had failed a second drugs test and was serving a 21-day ban. That's why he hasn't appeared in the one-day cup so far, but removed from the England squad for the World Cup. We're very interesting to see whether he turns up here this time next week for Notts, as Junaid moves in and goes past the outside edge with Sol pushing forward. One flying through to Sarfraz. He goes to his right hand side. Get 1-4-1 for 5 here, because in theory he's served his 21-day ban. He will become available for Notts once again for their final 3 one-day cup matches. Notts 5 from 5 so far, so not exactly crying out for a player to boost their prospects of qualification, because they're 1 win away from probably securing a home semi-final in the one-day cup, having hammered Yorkshire yesterday, bowled them out very cheaply. Junaid once more from the far end, and Sol defending this time from the crease out to extra cover. Imad Wazim going across there to his right hand side of field, and there is no run. Whether Notts will be taking further disciplinary action would seem unlikely, would suggest, having served his 21-day ban. But Hales is in a right old pickle now, because he's only got a white ball deal with Notts. Only 3 more white ball games to come. Certain Notts will have at least 1 more, you would think, with the way they're placed in the North Group of the One-Day Cup. As Junaid moves in again, and Sol just pushes in front of point here, and they're going to go through for a sharp single before Babar Azam can come up to his right hand side. So Sol gets his second run, 1-4-2 for 5, but then there's a big block of I think it's 8 weeks of only championship cricket. So what Alex Hales do during that period, he would hope that the plan was for him was to be involved with the England one-day setup, but having not now, will not now be involved in those matches, and with only championship cricket to come before the start of the T20 competition in July, Unless his deal with Notts changes in the not too distant future, as Janadis loses his run up here. And Hales could be kicking his heels for a while.
I think initially when he took up the white ball contract, he was hoping to get selected in the IPL, which didn't happen. So that was another big blow for him. Things not going well for Alex Hales at the moment.
Junaid once more from the far end. Cobb clears the front leg here and hammers it over mid-wicket for 4. Well, we haven't seen a shot like that for quite some time. It's a no ball as well. Junaid's overstepped. And Cobb, well, it would be fanciful to think he heard the call. That's why he played the shot. Clearing the front leg and heaving that up over mid-wicket out towards the covers on the far side. And he picks up a boundary and goes to 73 now. 1-4-6 for 5. Northampton in the 34th over. And now Cobb will have a free hit to have a thrash at. Field can't change because Cobb is still on strike. And Junaid for a moment there I thought was going to come in off a short run, but retreats back towards the Wilson stand. Turns and now runs in to bowl this free hit to Josh Cobb, the right-hander. And Cobb, he goes to thrash away over the leg side and misses completely. He didn't get in the best position there, Cobb. I think he was trying to hit it a bit too hard, maybe. It was a real thrash of the hands trying to hook. Decent bumper from Junaid, it must be said. Went through quickly and he gets away with it. But end of the over, 35 gone now. And Northants are 1-4-6 for 5. The scoreboard to our right-hand side is back with us. Cobb has 73 and Tom Sol in his first appearance of the summer for the Northants first team has 2. And Amir will continue here, having returned from the wanted drill. Holds a couple of overs on return, 6 overs in his day's work so far.
So in comes Amir to Tom Sol, who just plays this one out towards mid-wicket. They jog through for another single. .140 for 5 now. Effectively 6 though. Vasconcelos having retired hurt. Just 1. Josh Cobb on to 73. He's on strike here to Amir and drives this one over the covers, but out to the sweeper there. Just a single. 15 overs left after this one. And Josh Cobb showing a little bit of an intent now to up the scoring rate. So the last recognised pair though at the crease for Northants, having won the toss and decided to bat first this morning. Here comes Amir. This time to Sol, who just defends it straight back to him. And in fact there's a caught and bowled appeal there from Mohammed Amir. It looked like a bump ball, and the umpires are just going to discuss this. It was a sharp catch in the end by Amir down to his left with the one hand, but it certainly looked like a bump ball initially. And the umpire's just discussing what has happened here. I think it's going to be given not out.
Yeah.
It was a half-hearted appeal from the Pakistanis. Mohammed Amir was the only one who was really interested. And he's going to have to go and bowl another delivery to Tom Sol after that.
It was very full and he just dug it out. I suppose the question was whether the ball had just kicked up off the turf first, looped back towards the bowler, but Mike Burns and Rob White here, the former Northants batsman, reserve list umpire, standing at this wanted road end.
So Amir into Sol once again. This one full and driven, straight to mid-on though. No run. Mid-on, mid-off, both in the circle. Wicket in place, man in the covers. At point as well inside the ring. Got a deep cover on the boundary. Third man, fine leg. Deep mid-wicket as well. Once again, glorious sunshine here in Northampton. Zamir comes in once again, and this one cut away beautifully backward at point. 4 runs to Tom Sole there. Just lent on that one really, didn't try to hit it too hard, guided it past the backward point fielder and into the gap for another boundary to Northampton. And that's the 150 up as well, 153 for 5 now. First boundary for Tom Sole, he moves on to 7.
Just a bit of width, wasn't it? And he steered it away with the pace. Nicely diverted away by Sole there.
So Amir in once again to Sole, and this one a similar delivery, but played straight to the point fielder this time. And that's the end of the over, is it? Yes, it is. So dot ball to finish up the 35th over. Northants 153 for 5. Effectively 6 though. Wicket each today for Mohammed Amir, Mohammed Hasnain, Haris Sahil, Yasir Shah and Junaid Khan. Imad Wazim, the only bowler not to pick up a wicket today. Josh Cobb, by far the top scorer in the Northants lineup, still there, unbeaten on 74. And here comes Mohammed Hasnain from the far end this time. Tall figure, likes to hit the deck hard. Saw a fair bit of short stuff earlier on, including the one that hit Vasconcelos in the helmet. He eventually retired hurt as a result. And in he comes to Josh Cobb this time, short of a length and guided down towards third man. Jog through for another single.
Four overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 14 his initial burst from this 1-2 Trode end, now back at the Wilson end.
And he comes once again to Soles, and that one just a play and a miss outside the off stump, taken very low by Sarfraz Ahmed. Not as much pace and carry as we've been used to seeing from Mohammed Hasnain's first spell, certainly. Bowling from the opposite end this time though. Again, taking a long time to just meander back towards his bowling mark, Hasnain. And he comes to Sole once again. And this one full and driven straight to mid-off, and they're scampering through. Single was a shy at the stumps at the non-striker's end. They think about running an overthrow, decide against it. It may have been close with a direct hit, but the throw was well wide in the end.
Would have been close, yeah. Straight to the fieldsman really, and Sole almost automatically took off. And then I think after about 3 or 4 strides he thought, oh dear.
Straight to the fielder, but he wasn't attacking the ball, the fielder.
Yeah, he was a bit on his heels.
Yeah.
I still think Sole was gone with a direct hit.
So Cobb back on strike. Hasnain makes his way in. This one's shorter and played off his hip down towards fine leg by Cobb. They run through for another single. Junaid Khan, the fielder, down at fine leg. Lots of hands in pocket still from the Pakistani fielders. Still feeling the cold. With plenty of blue sky here in Northampton this afternoon now. Bit of thick cloud in the distance as well. Hasnain makes his way into Sole this time, short, and he ducks out of the way of that one, Sole. Just heard Safraz Ahmed looking towards the dressing room there. Helmet. Don't know whether it's for him or whether or not Pakistanis may well decide to bring a short leg fielder in at some point.
Yeah, maybe trying to use him as a bit of a battering ram here.
Yeah, Fahim Ashraf there with a helmet on the boundary rope, ready to bring it on at any point. Hasnain makes his way into Sol once again, and this one full and wrapped on the pads. Half a peel from the bowler there, but heading way down the leg side by the looks of it. And that's the end of Mohammed Hasnain's over. 36 overs gone now. Northant's 156 for 5, and the helmet does come on.
So will this be spin again, perhaps, from the
Yeah, it looks like
wanted road end? Yeah. Ahmad 5 overs, no maiden, 0 for 16, his first burst from the top end, and is now going to return from this wanted road end.
From the pavilion end, Imad Wazin.
There you go, confirmation on the loudspeaker. So Safraz calling for a helmet for himself. Standing up to the left arm spinner. He's going to come round the wicket. To Josh Cobb, and he comes, and this one full and driven wide of the long off fielder. He's about 15 yards in from the rope there. They end up running through.